Hey everyone, this is Puneet back again, and in this video we're going to learn about a new function in Excel that is called translate. Now with the help of this function you can translate your text data from one language to another. So make sure to watch this video till the end, and now let's get started. Alright, so here in my worksheet I have few text values which are in English language and I want to convert these values into Spanish. So what I'll do, I'll enter the translate function, and in the translate function I have three arguments. The first is text, obviously, which I want to convert from one language to another, and the second is source language, and third is target language. Now the second and third argument is optional. You don't need to specify these, but let's say if you don't specify the language that you want to translate to, how the function will understand, or how function will know that which language you want. So the point here is you need to specify the first argument and you need to specify the third argument. So what I'll do, I'll specify the cell A1 where I have the value, and then I'm going to use the code for the language. So when you go to the second argument, it gives you this extensive list of languages that you can choose from, and if you don't know the code for the language, you can just scroll down and find your language that you want to specify here. So let's say if I want to go with English, I'll simply go to E where I have this code EN, and when I select it, it automatically enters the code. Or I can just use the code EN, define myself, and then I'm going to use ES, which is the code for Spanish, and I'm going to close the function and hit enter, and here I have my translated value. Now, as I said, you can skip specifying the second argument because translate function can automatically detect that which language you are referring to. So when I skip the second argument, it will still translate my values. Now, when you're using this function, there are few points that you need to understand. The first is you always need to have an active internet connection because this function is service based and your Excel needs to connect with internet so that this function can fetch data from Microsoft's server. Now the second is there is a limitation on the length of the text. So if your text goes beyond 3000 characters, this function will show you an error. So here I have just a fictitious text which has length of 3000 characters, but the moment I go beyond 3000, it returns an error. Now the point is you have a limitation of 3000 characters to translate from a single cell using translate function. Now, apart from the length of the text, there are three more limitations that you need to understand. And the first is you cannot translate non-text values, and you cannot translate if that language is invalid. So there are a list of languages that Microsoft supports, and if there is a language which is outside that list, you might not be able to translate that language. Now the last one is request throttle. Now the thing is, when you're using this function a lot more in a single day, you might hit the daily quota, and then you need to come back next day to use the translate function again. So these are the few things that comes with the translate function, but still this is one of the most useful function if you deal with a lot of data that comes from a different language. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'll be coming out with a lot of cool Excel tips and tricks in coming weeks, and I'll see you in the next video.